Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing, I say today, this evening we're going to be playing Fogolopolis. Now, a handful of days ago, I think it was actually on Friday that we played this. I really have lost track of time. So it was the 21st of August. So that is not a Friday, that is Wednesday. That is more than a handful of days ago. Anyhow, handful? Yeah, it is still a handful. I mean, it's 5 days ago, 4 days ago. Anyhow, we played Fogville. So this is what I'm guessing is what a Fogville grows up to be, a Fogolopolis. And you can see here what looks like a large city landscape of some sort that is covered in fog for some reason. And so much so that Sleuth is having to walk around with a flashlight to be able to actually see what is going on. Somebody made a comment about the fedora hat. It's back. Right, anything about today's puzzle before we take a look at the rule set? So I'm fairly sure that this is a 1-star difficulty rated puzzle. And I'm deliberately selecting one because looking at the solve times for the last handful of puzzles, and I'm including Fridays as well, I'm seeing solve times that are half an hour and above in general. So I feel like, given it's a Sunday evening, you guys deserve a bit of a break as we go into the week ahead. So, should be a relatively easy solve, but we'll see. I do sometimes make them look way harder than they should be. With Fogolopolis by Megan 033, and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box. That is nothing unusual here. Then we have black dots. So a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. If this cell here was never mind. If this cell is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that essentially one cell is double the other. We also have white crop key dots. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3, so that it is consecutive in value. And not all dots are given. So if that was a 2 and that was a 4 and there's clearly no black dot, we'll talk about the fog in a second, but you can't even see half of it in here, not a problem. Even if it was a 3 and no white dot, also not a problem. The digits along each arrow must sum to the digits in the circle cell. So if you imagine that these two cells were 1 and 2, essentially the cells on the arrow sum up to 3, and therefore you're going to have to place 3 inside the circle attached to that arrow. Then last but not least, we have fog. Plenty of it, only box 5 is revealed. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell and no guessing is required. So if you imagine that this cell is a 2, then all of the surrounding fog over here will essentially clear up once you place the digit and will allow us to make a bit more progress with this puzzle, such as seeing where this white crop key dot is leading us. So that's all the rules we have for today. Fog puzzles, you guys absolutely love them, and I think it's a great way to finish up a fantastic weekend where we celebrated the 2K milestone. Link will be in the description down below for you to play. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right, we have plenty of information here. So for example, this cell, even if it's a 2, it can't be a 1, because these two cells are consecutive, and then I would have to have like 0 and 2, so that doesn't work. So at a minimum, this cell is 2, and then at a minimum, this cell would be 4, because the 1 and 3 would be occupied in here. Then these two cells add up to 6, and then that would break because of the 3. So there's clearly a lot of constraints in here to make us work this out. So 2... Oh, and 6 doesn't work. So, sorry, where am I going with this? We've got the black crop key dots in here. If I make this a 3, I'm actually really struggling with this one now. If this is an odd digit, this could be 2 and 4. I still couldn't place a 1 in here. The next one along would be a 6. So, wow, okay. So this is very restricted. I've just demonstrated that 3, because it'll be surrounded by 2 and 4. And I can't place 1 in here because that would be a 2, so that's not going to work. So I can't place 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 doesn't work on a black Kropke dot, that would be 2.5 or 10. And 6 would be the next one along. And the maximum, because this is already adding up to a 9, this would require a 3. So in general, this can't be 3. 2, I'm not convinced I've demonstrated it doesn't break. Now, if I don't place, so essentially from the 1, 2, and 3 options, that's the problem, is I still have 2 black Kropke dots. So if you think about the black Kropke dot digits for a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, obviously the 6, I can't place 3 of these off them because I only have 6 digits. I need 4 of them in here. And then whatever I place in there, interesting. So I'm pretty sure this now has to be a 5. You see, 1 doesn't work. 2 would remove 3 of the digits from the black Kropke dots, and then I wouldn't have enough left over. Same challenge with the 3. The 2 and 4 would be gone. 4 might actually work with 3 and 5. Then I could sneak away with, well, no. Because essentially the remaining digits that I have are 1 and 2, and then what would I do with the black Kropke dots? Because, 6 and 8 are not connected. So 4 doesn't work either. So I was heading towards, this has to be 5. This would be 4, 6. And then I don't think I have options actually. You see, once you remove the 6 and the 4, essentially I'm left with 1, 2, and then what joins the 8? I can't have 3 and 8 together. Interesting. This is putting a lot of pressure now on this arrow. So 6, and then 5 and 7. At least that works. And then I can easily put 1 and 2 in here, and then 4 and 8 in there. And is that going to work? Yes. 6, 2, 8, 4. And all of that is going to be basically unraveled relatively easily. Now, I'm imagining that if I go bigger, I'll be in trouble. Probably because these would be 6, 8. And then I'm left with 1, 2, 3, and 4, which won't work on these black Kropke dots. And then I can't go any higher. 8 with 7 and 9 in here. That's fine. But I don't have a big digit left to put on the black Kropke dots. So this was forced with, what was it, 6? And then 5, 7. Then this had to be the 8, this had to be the 4, this had to be the 2, the 1, and then it looked like the 3 and 9. Now 3 in here could be possible. It's clearly not be a 2, it would be 4, and this would be 1, 3. Kind of 3 and 1. You can see that this is a 2-cell arrow that adds up to this. If it's 9, this would be 8. And this is clearly still possible. I'm going to remove these before I misuse them. 3 unique digits plus a 4th. This is a pretty big digit, and it's not 6, and it has to be at least 6, because even if this is minimized 1, 2, 3, plus a 1, this is 7, 8, 9. Now, 1, 2, and 3 in here. Sorry, 1 and 2 in here. Let me just think about this. I'm kind of wondering if this is, because my options in here, I think, are 3 and 4. Let's try and minimize this. So 3, 1, and 2. And obviously, because this is a 2, I could do 1. Presumably, I can also do 3 in this cell, if this is truly minimized with 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so that would be 9. Now, presumably, I can also get away with a 4. And then 1 and 2, that's already at 7, plus 1 to get to 8. So this is a maximum of 4. If it's 3, it'll be 6. If it's 4, it'll be 8, because the 2 is not available. This can't be 3, 4 anymore, because it would break this cell. So that is definitely 9. That is definitely 8. That is definitely 3. 2 cells that add up to 8, even though they're unique, it's not exactly difficult. We kind of have the same thing going on here. Now, this is at least 7, 8, 9. Because we've got 3 cells are at least 6 plus at least another 1. This time I have options. I could do 1, 2, or 3. And in fact, I could definitely do 1, 2, 3 in here. So I can get away with 7 in this one. Technically, I can get away with 7 in this one too. Okay. So there has to be, okay, so here's another kind of thought. There has to be a 1. If it's not, if there's no 1, it's 2, 3, 4. That's already at 9, and this would be 10. So there has to be a 1 on this arrow. I don't like corner pencil marking across boxes, but I think I understand what that means. And there has to be a 1 on here for the exact same logic. I'm not actually sure what's next. Excuse me. So we know 8 is in these two. So, okay, 8. Come on. Sleuth. 6. 3. Then 8 is in one of these two cells. Pretty sure I can't put a 5 in here because 4 is not available, 3 is not available. So this is limited to 1 or 2. And I think I can get away with as much as a 4. So essentially like 1, 3, 4, that's 8 plus a 1. So technically this is the full pencil mark. 3 is clearly in one of these two cells, one of these 3 cells, excuse me. Just Sudoku. Can it be on the white crop kiddo? Essentially make this 2, 3. I could put in a 1 in here and it really doesn't exert that much pressure on this. Feels premature to be looking at these 2 arrows, but it is undoubtedly deliberate. I just don't know if it, like, I should be able to make progress elsewhere and then come back. Let's just see what these are. These are 4, 5, and 7. These are at least 1 and 2, but obviously it's not 3. And it can't be 4 because neither of these could be 3. It would require 1 and 3. So this is at least 5. And it would have to be 1, 4. But technically I can do 5. So it's 5, it's not 6. It could be 7. It's not 8. And of course it could be 9. That means I can have as much as an 8 in here. 8, 1, 4, 9. It's fine. Places this as a 7. Doesn't work. So, I mean, 8 would require a 1 and then a 9 and then a 4. But, oh, hang on. I could put a 9 in here. Essentially, I was thinking that there is no 1s there. But I can actually place a 9 in here. That's not a problem anymore. So not ignore what I was about to say. It is incorrect. Because this is 1 or 2, that can't be 1. I can remove 1 as a candidate. 5. So let's think about options. This can't be 1. This could be a 2, 3 pair. Can't be 4, can't be 5, can't be 6. Can't be 7 either, because 6 and 8 are not available and therefore can't be 9. So this is definitely 2, 3. This is a 1. Interesting. So then I have another 5, 7, an 8, and a 9. And the question is, where does the 9 go? And it's not very clear. Can I remove any more? I'm clearly missing something, such as the 3 looking at this. That's another 1. So this is 2 or 4. So essentially I have 5 already, with a 2 for 7, or with a 4 for 9. This is not 8. 1, 2, and 3 in here means that this is at least a 4 now, and can't have 1s on any of these, can't have 3s, it can never be a 5 anymore. To get to 7 or 9 with a 4, this would have to be 3 or 5. 5 obviously doesn't work, and 3 doesn't work because of the black crop dots for the 5, and then the 3 because of Sudoku. So this is not even 4. This is climbing. This is at least 5 now. 2 to get to 7, 4 to get to 9, both of which are fine. The 2 in here can make this 1 or 4. The 4 could be 2 or 8. So 5 is looking quite good. 6 presumably is also good. No, it isn't, because both the 1 and 3 are not available. Then 7 with a 2 works, but 8 doesn't. So this is 5 or 7. That gives me a 5-7 pair. And it means that it's always 2, 4. And I mean, technically I could do 1, 2, 4, or 8. So I'm not going to really pencil mark this one. I don't know if I have to overanalyze this much. Right, let's just think about what is left in terms of digits. I have 4, 6, 8, and 9. There's a white crop key dot in here. Only the 8 and 9 could be consecutive, therefore the 4 and 6 are down here. The 8-9 pair makes this a 7. And therefore this has to be minimum with the 2. This has to be a 4. This would have to be a 5, otherwise it's too big. And this would have to be 9. The 4 in here gives me another 2 or 8. The 4 or 6 would be connected to an odd digit that is not 3. It is another 5, 7. Has that put much pressure on? I mean, it's removed the 7 from here, so let's do that. But otherwise, not really. Another white crop dot. Not 1. I mean, this is quite a high digit already. So this is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm already at least 5 in here. And I mean, I couldn't do 6. Let's just think about it. Because this is at least 5, and this can't be 1 to get to 6. So realistically, this is not 6, not 7. This is another 8, 9. Then I kind of have a bunch of options. So let's think about the column, because we have another white crop dot. So my options are, it's quite a few of them actually. I could do 5, 6, 7, or 8, all on here. Yeah, not very helpful. I mean, one thing it's really pushing it. This is 2, 4. There'll be another even and an odd in here. So this will be even. Other way to think about it, 1, 3, and 9. I've placed 4 odd digits. 1 has to be on the white crop dot. This has to be even. And it's not 2 or 4. This is 6 or 8. Not very useful, but may as well. 9 is a 9. We haven't resolved these yet. So there's essentially another 4, 5, 7. One of them, plus a 1, plus a 6. Clearly, the 6 is not on the arrow. I couldn't make this work. 1, 2 with a 6 is already at 9, and even with another 1, that's 10. So 6 is in these 2 cells. In here is an 8 joined with a 5, 7. Then there is another 4, 5, 7 with a 2. Interesting. One and 2 gone on this 8. This has to be 3, 5. Not that I can resolve them. But you take what you can get, really. You can see that this is, I mean, this arrow might leave. Like, I don't know. No, it couldn't. So the arrow is fully contained in this box. To get to another box would make this 4 cells. We've seen 4 cells does work, so it can leave the box. Regardless, where I was going with this is, even if it's 2 cells, can I make this a 4? I think the answer is yes. I could have 1 and 3. This would be 5. That would be 4. So I can be as little as 4, which is unfortunate. Or 6, or 8, or 9. This is a ton of options. Not desirable at all. The 5 gave me a 7 and a 5. At least I know what's going on in here. And therefore this is 5 and 8. The second 8-9 in this column has to be down here because of this 8-9 pair. So let's just start thinking, well, the 4 isn't here. The 6 is already there. So the 4 is in there. Then there's an 8-9 in here. And then the loose digits are 2 and 3. And there's 1 on either side, basically. Yeah, I can't tell what's going on. I feel like I'm missing loads in this puzzle. I'm sort of like, most one-star puzzles feel a bit more approachable in this. You start sort of plugging away some numbers and then the next step is fairly obvious. So one of two things is happening. Either I'm not quite awake, which seems to be a consistent theme right now, or this is a harder puzzle than I think. Right, let's just think about what can we do with this arrow now. You know, so the 1, for example, is definitely in these 3 cells, plus another 4, 5, 7. And then the question in my mind is, can I actually put 4, 5, or 7? I mean, the 7 is obviously no. The 5 is also no. So this is 1 or 4. Is 4 even realistic? 4, 2, and 1. That's already at 7. That would be a 1. So that would have to be at least a 2. And that would get me to 9. So it's a really tight squeeze. But it's unfortunately possible. 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 6 with 7. The 5 is not here, the 5 is there. And therefore this is not a 5. I mean, we knew that from the 5, 8, and this is 4, 7 with the 2. I am going to pencil mark them. So I need an even digit in here, and it's not 4 or 6, it's one of 2 or 8, which is very interesting because it means essentially I've got 2 and 8 in here as a virtual pair. There's 1 there and there's 1 on the white crop dot. That can't be an 8. That's a 6. That's a 4. That's a 6. It also keeps going that this is now 5 and 8, and this is not the 2, this is the 4 or 7, and this is the 2. Now, 2 in here with 1 or 3 is quite easy. 8 in here with 7 or 9. 8 would have to be with 7 because of this 8-9 pair. But again, highly achievable. Now this is interesting. 5, 7, what is up there? It's definitely an 8. So this is 7, 8, which makes this a 5. 7, 8 in here means this is definitely 1 or 2 to get to 8 or 9. It's not 2, it's a 1. And both, well, 7, 8 pair, that's a 9. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's an 8. So yeah, that's evidence that I am not entirely awake, but it's all right. I'm okay with it. You can use these white crop dots again. You can do similar trickery with evens and odds, such as no 8, no 4s. This is 2 or 6. 6 is achievable. It will be 5, 6. 7 is not available. 2 is achievable. It wouldn't be with the 1. It would be with the 3. So essentially, it's either 2, 3, or 5, 6. No, brilliant. 2, 3 would force a 1 in here, which would certainly force a 1 in there. Is it? If I put a 1 in here, yeah, 2, 3, 4. So this would have to be 1. And then we have essentially like a 3, 5 virtual pair between these. And then the 2, 4, or 6. And a 6 means that's the 6. So this is not 2 or 3. That's 5, 6. That's 3. That's 5. which keeps the hopes of this being a 4 alive, with 1 and 3 being possible. The 3 in there removes the 3 from here. Then we have another 1, 2. And something else, a 7. Can there be a 7 in here? Well, not with a 6, but with an 8, yes. So essentially 1, 2, 7 with a definite 7. 1 would make this a 2, which would break this cell, so that's not 1. 2 can't be with 1, it would have to be with 3. 7 can't be with 6, it would have to be with 8. And essentially we have a 3, 8, 9 triple in here, and this is 2, 4, and then 3, 8, 9. It's very careful construction from Mega No Double 3. There's always just enough information to move forward. The 1 is gone. Right, so 4 is off the table. Can't be 1, 5. Can't be 2, 4. So 6 is off the table as well. This is 8 or 9. 8 is highly possible given the pressure from the 8s, and it's not 9 for sure. 8. So, not 3, 5, not 1, 7, it is 2, 6, which gives me 5, 6, 4, and 2. 2, 6 pair, 2, 3 pair. I mean, the 2s are lining up. I mean, I could start to put some corner pencil marks like the 2 and 8s. The 8s, the 2s. The 7 can't be here. It has to be there for this row. Not a 7. What is this cell? We know that. That is a 3. We may as well just do a bit of Sudoku here and tidy up. We've got 4, 5, and 6. 6 is none of these. This is 6. 5 can only be in here now. 4, which gives me 7 and 4. Doesn't remove the 1, 4 option here. So this is 1, 4, 6. All of which seems feasible for now. I will come back and see if I can disprove that 4. I have given it a lot of my attention already. Then up here, well, remember there's a kind of a definite 1 in this column. That is not a 1. Not very helpful, but since we're pencil marking, I need 1, 3, and 9. That's not a 9. That's not a 1. Really thought I'm going to be able to do a bit better. So it's coming back to that arrow. Have I done better in here? 3, 8, 9, 1, 2, 7. I don't think so. This one, the 2, 8. No, but surely this will help now. I did say it's 2 or 8. The 8 can't be partnering with a 7 or 9. So this is definitely a 2, 3 pair. That's an 8. That's a 9. Doesn't help in there. These 3 cells are 1, 7, and 9. That is not a 9. That's all I know for now. 9 is obviously giving us the maximum set of possibilities. So the 4 remains possible. With 4, 2, just trying to minimize everything, and then 1, 2. Yeah, we're fine. 2, 3 pair doesn't work because of this 2, 3. That's 8. That's 7. That's a 3. That's 2. That's 3. That 2 bounces back. That's 1. That's 2. Again, the 4 is still possible because we're modeling the 2 option in there. These are not 2s. That is the only place for a 2 in here. This is not an 8. This is the fog fully revealed now. Not 1. Not 7. No resolution to the 1, 7, 9 triple. But we can probably make a bit of progress now with a few pencil marks. So, what am I doing in here? I need another 7, 9, and a 4. Can I place either? No. Best I can do is remove the 7 option from here. Then I have 1, 9 with a 5. I can place the 5. And remember, because of the 1, this was actually a very helpful corner pencil mark. That has to be a 9. That's a 1. That's a 7. That's a 9. That gives me 4 and 7. And these 3 cells, actually, did that 9 help me? Yes, it did. That's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 9. That 3 gave me 2 and 3, and then 2 and 6. The 1, 4, 6, probably. Yeah, that's a definite 6 now. 1 and 4 are in the column. That gives me 1 and 4 and 1. Of course, that was, I guess, the plan all along. And therefore, this is 6. And then lastly, to finish up, 3. It's a fantastic puzzle, Mega No Double 3. Yeah, I mean, it is 1-star difficulty, I guess. Just feels like, I mean, it's not really on the cusp. It's just very involved. But I'd agree with the rating overall, and very much a worthy fog puzzle that I'm sure you guys are absolutely going to enjoy. It's the kind of puzzles where you have to really think about every next step, which is fantastic. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.